ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 3 of the Bryan City Band Summer Concert Series. Let's see, the first song you just heard is a tribute to Cincinnati called the Queen City March. We're going to move on to what's defined as programmatic music. And programmatic means that it's trying to depict a certain thing. And this is called Thrill Ride. So the idea the composer had was to try and depict a roller coaster or some such thrill ride, starting at the bottom where everything is pretty well calm, and then going up a hill. You get to the top of the hill, you get to look around, and then all of a sudden you drop down and you go crazy and things just go all around. Let's see if you think he succeeded at this. This is Thrill Ride. All right, in your opinion, did he succeed? Did you feel like you were on a thrill ride? There's a tremendous response. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Boy, that was thrilling. Okay, we'll move on to our more spiritual song of the evening. Even though this isn't actually a religious song, this is called Count Your Blessings Before Your Sheep. And, what? Instead of sheep. Count your blessings instead of sheep. This was written in 1954, and it was for the movie White Christmas. And this was done in the movie White Christmas, even though it really makes no mention of the Christmas holiday or any holiday in particular. And how this song came about is Irving Berlin, who was the composer, was suffering from insomnia. And he went to the doctor to try and cure his insomnia, and the doctor said, well, just count your blessings instead of sheep. Thus, we have a song. So this is Irving Berlin's Count Your Blessings Instead of Sheep. to move on to another song, kind of similar in the same era anyway. This is by Arthur Pryor, and Arthur Pryor was, as so many band members were back in the early 1900s, members of circus bands or members of the Sousa Band. Well, Pryor was a member of the Sousa Band, and he was a trombonist, and he composed over 300 songs for the Sousa Band and for other bands he was in. And he was a featured soloist, trombone soloist with the Sousa Band, and they were on tour in Europe, and they were in Germany, and the members of the German National Band were required to go see the Pryor Band, the Sousa Band with Pryor in it. And he played so well that members of the German army said, this must be some Yankee trick. No one can play that well. So anyway, this is probably his most well-known composition. This is actually features the flute section, and this is called The Whistler and His Dog. Okay, before we go on, I'm sure most of you have noticed these lovely people over in green here and wondered just what they're doing and why they're doing it. Steve Osbach will come up here and explain exactly what this is all about.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve Allspaw, and usually at a CAF event, you'll see me wearing a lime green shirt. Tonight, I'm kind of doing a little bit of double duty, so I had to go with white, otherwise I'd really stand out up here. But we wanted to thank you for participating tonight. We hope you've had an opportunity to enjoy one of our floats this evening. If you haven't, we encourage you to head over that way. It is a free will donation. There is no set price, whatever you feel like contributing. But that is available to you. The folks that you do see, though, in the lime green shirts, those are members of Community Advocates for Healthy Family, also known as CAF. We're a community organization centered on the idea that strong, healthy families are the best way to reduce at-risk behavior in kids and teens, which is one of the reasons why we handed out information to you earlier about activities that you can do with your family. I know that sounds kind of strange to say, that to get literature to promote what to do with families, but we do know that a lot of people struggle with things to do with their families, especially free opportunities, and that's some of the types of things that we encourage is activities and promote these types of activities so parents have some place to take their children. CAF is also responsible for the green character trait signs that you see around town on the entrances. We're also responsible for Ready, Set, Relax, which is on the first Monday in October. We also sponsor free movie nights for the community held at the brand new 612 building. We also held a bowling night at Bryan Lanes this past winter and are going to be hosting a family swim night on August 8th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Moore Pool. Again, this is a free event and is an opportunity for families to spend time together in a safe, fun activity. Presently, our focus is on creativity, and the active performances like the ones you're at tonight are truly a creative process. So your donations tonight help us to promote family-oriented activities in the schools and in the community, and we again encourage you to head over there. We still got plenty of stuff, and help support Community Advocates for Healthy Families, which also ends up helping the community. Thank you very much.
And you know what would go really well with one of those floats is some Kiwanis popcorn. So thank you, Kiwanians. Thank you, Kat, for being here. Also, while I'm thanking people, in case you hadn't noticed, this year the courthouse is not available to us. The people at Grand Plaza have graciously offered to let us use restrooms if that need be. So if you have the urge, go over and patronize both the restroom and the restaurant. Okay, we're going to change pace back to a march. We seem to do a lot of marches, and we kind of do them well. This one's a little bit different. I just got this year, just because it was so different. This is called the March of the Tank Men, and it was composed in 1943 by, who was it? I forgot to write the composer down, Simeon Chernetsky. And this is actually a Russian Army march that was written for the Army Tank Corps during World War II. But it's a really interesting march, and hope you enjoy it. So this is the March of the Tank Men. Now, remember where we end. Yes. After we DS, we end at 37. Watch the key, we're in 2. 1, 2, 3, yeah. it's a lot cooler this week than it was last week. And you know what makes it so much cooler? After 8 years of doing this, I wised up and got a little fan to blow on me. So that makes life worth living. Anyway, we're going to come back over now to the United States, and with the traditional American music. This is Dixieland. This is called Dixieland Spectacular, and it includes a few traditional old Dixieland tunes like Dinah, Tin Roof Blues, and High Society. So this is Dixieland Spectacular. I got out of high school to work for this? These guys are up here. Oh, well, we're up here for fun. Hopefully you're having fun too. We're going along, and again, with another march, but this is actually a medley of marches, a little bit more popular. These are called the Marches of Broadway. A lot of different Broadway shows have marches of one form or another thrown into them, and this will have some marches called, before the parade passes by, Comedy Tonight, and everybody knows, 76 trombones. So this is the Marches of Broadway. Okay, we're going to move into a particular decade now. This particular song is a medley called the 60s. Obviously, it contains songs that were popular during the 60s. Now, we worked on this last night, and some of our folks are a little trepidatious about this song, but I have full confidence that we'll just zip right through it and it'll be fine. Okay, but it's a medley, again, containing Born Free, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, Tijuana Taxi, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Classical Gas, The Twist, Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport, Cherish, Windy, Satisfaction, You Lost That Lovin' Feelin', Dominique, Good Vibrations, Alfie, For Once in My Life, and Yesterday. So that you should get your fill of 60 songs here. This sucker's about 10 minutes long, so you know, it kills time. Then we're out of here. No, it's a really good medley. If you recognize the song and you want to sing along, once again, please don't, because it's really annoying. So this is the 60s. We're going to change now back over to the Broadway stage. This is some selections from West Side Story, which West Side Story, I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It's an updated modern-day Romeo and Juliet type thing. And it is originally, well, the story of it, if you're not familiar with it, is rival gangs in New York City, Puerto Rican gangs against white kid gangs. And it was originally written for Puerto Rican gangs against African American gangs. But they thought even at that time it would be way too controversial, so they changed it around. But anyway, the main story stays the same, and it's got some beautiful music by Leonard Bernstein in it. This is a medley of a few, including Maria, Tonight, One Hand, One Heart, Cool, and Somewhere. with the closer of our main portion of the program. This is called the Footlifter March, and this is by Henry Fillmore. Henry Fillmore was born in Cincinnati, and again, he was one of these guys who played in circus bands and all these other things. But he was a young man. He was learning to play lots of different instruments, including the trombone. But he had to hide his trombone because his father was a very, very religious man, and his father was convinced that the trombone was an uncouth and sinful instrument. Well, anyway, we'll forgive our trombone section, and this is Henry Fillmore's The Footlift. We'll ask Jude and Dave to come up for our traditional ending. While they're on their way up, I'd just like to remind you that Saturday is Day in the Park, and we will be giving a concert Saturday night at 8 o'clock in the ice rink shortly before the fireworks. So we hope to see you there. So we end up with God Bless America and Star Spangled Banner. Right there. Hanging on the... You'll have to turn it on.
You do?
No, you're on.
It's always something.
1, 2.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hopefully see you Saturday night and next Wednesday. Thank you.